Hi everybody. Today's Thursday, August 15th, 2024, and it's another wonderful warm evening in Northwest Arkansas for another edition of Weeds and Wisdom. I hope everybody's having a good day. And I don't know, out here the kids have already gone back to school, so I don't know where you are if that's happening yet, but it looks like fall might be on its way. My trees are telling me fall might be here early. And I've got squirrels gathering nuts and leaves on the ground already. So I don't know what's going on with Mother Nature. But I'm happy to be with you guys tonight. And we'll wait just a couple minutes until everybody gets on. Do want to remind you that if you want to view any of our previous lives, you can always go to Crooked House Herbal's Facebook page. Well, for a month. They stay on for 30 days. And then they all archive up to our Crooked House Herbal's YouTube channel. So you're welcome to visit us there and watch anything that you've may be interested in on that channel as well. If you want to get a hold of me, Wendy at crookedhouseherbals.com, or you can message me on Facebook. And if you have my phone number, you're welcome to text me or call me. All right, it looks like we're about ready. It's weird looking at myself. Okay. Let's go. Tonight I want to talk to you about edibles. We've got some more edibles to talk about tonight. And it's always fun to find out about things that, you know, are naturally growing in your environment. I don't know, you know, some of you live in other parts of the country and, you know, you may not have these things as prevalent as we do. But I will be talking about things that are very indigenous to my region. I'm going to say regions 7, 8, 8.5, all in that area. We've got some pretty neat stuff that's growing, and that's another reason that I can kind of tell that fall's coming early, because a lot of these plants that I've been looking at that I wanted to talk about normally are in their prime right now. This is their best month, and they're actually on their way out. They've already peaked, and they're waning now. They're getting ready to call it another year and die down. So I wanted to talk about a few things that are very interesting to me, and I didn't know, you know, some of you may know some of this stuff and some of you may not. So with that, let's get started. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about was this lovely little plant that grows low to the ground, and it kind of looks like a succulent. I wouldn't say it's labeled a succulent, but it's got, and I have some I was going to try to show you tonight, but some little bug has eaten all the leaves off of it, so all I have is stems. So that doesn't really show you much. But if you're familiar with the way chickweed looks, this looks similar to that in the way it grows, but it's much more juicy, like a succulent plant. And it is called purslane. And it is a green leafy plant with, it has a kind of slightly sour taste. I love it. I think it's really good. It's in fields. You can find it, like I said, in shady areas, like you know, in different places like that. It doesn't like, it's not a, you know, way out in the meadow type plant. It's going to be around the edges, and you can eat it raw. I like it raw. I think it's good. But as a kid, I remember I used to like to eat the really juicy blades of grass too. I was thinking about that today. I thought, you know, I've kind of always been eating stuff. Because I remember when I was little, when I was young, and when you actually went out for recess, you know, back in the day, and we'd have like a 30-minute lunch recess, and we'd go out into the fields, and some of the kids would play ball, and we'd make clover chains. We'd tie clover together, and, you know, with the white flowers on it, and make these big long chains and wrap them around us and bring them back in. And there was always this yummy grass growing that when you pulled it up, the bottom of it was real juicy, and I used to love to eat that. So I guess it just comes naturally to me. But purslane kind of has that same juicy grass taste. Okay? And it is, you can eat it raw, you can pickle it, you can put it in soup, you can do just about anything with it that you would do any kind of green leafy thing. It is very rich in omega-3s, and so if you are a vegetarian or if you are like a heavy fish eater, you know, purslane would be a good thing for you to add to your diet that way. It's very high fiber. It's got a lot of vitamin A. It's got a lot of vitamin C. It's got the B vitamins. It's got iron. It's got magnesium and manganese and potassium and calcium and copper. All these antioxidant compounds in this little weedy thing that grows on the ground. And you know what the best part about it is it's really easy to grow. Kind of like, you know, aloe vera, how the aloe vera plant grows and then it gets these little babies in there. And if you pull these babies up and stick them in the dirt in another pot, they'll grow to be another big plant. It's really that simple. I mean, it's really easy to grow. And that's the same way with purslane. Purslane is literally, you could just take pieces of it and lay it on the dirt and it'll sink its roots and it'll grow and it'll get real bushy. And it does get this pretty little flower on it. And it's just a really awesome thing to grow. And it wouldn't be hard. You can grow it in a pot. You can grow it like in a flower bed where you have other things growing as a ground cover. But it is an edible and it's power packed, you know, it's food. So I wanted to tell you about it. Okay. It's in its own family, the purslane family. And, it lays flat on the soil. Like I told you, it's got little oval, smooth leaves. They're real small, like maybe the size of my thumbnail, maybe even smaller. And what else can I tell you? The stems are kind of yellowish or reddish. Mine are actually both. I got yellow and red. That just kind of is on, you know, either one side or the other. They usually have a yellow flower that comes on it, and it'll grow in the summer months. And it likes like the mountain areas. It likes, you know, you'll find it just about anywhere. And let's see. I think the best way to use it, in my opinion, is fresh. I more so than cooking it, but you know how I feel about that anyway. But I just think it tastes better. Cooking it seems like it would just make it not have a taste. Sorry, thirsty. You get a lot more nutritional benefit, obviously, but you know, if you had to survive. Remember last week we talked about cattails and how cattails can, you can basically cook them like corn on the cob and eat them. I mean, just about every part of a cattail is edible, and it's a protein source. I mean, it's really, really good for you. It's kind of weird to think about eating one, but again, if you needed a clean source of food, that's part of the reason I'm talking to you about all of these things. It's not that, you know, you have to run out there and do all that right now. But if any of you guys have really been paying attention, I don't know how many of you are, to what is happening to our food, you would feel the same way I did, and that is that you need a plan B. Because unless you are a farmer and you're growing your own stuff, you've got your own cows out there, or your own chickens and your own, you know, goats for milk or whatever, however you want to live, I have the opportunity to be around a lot of farmers where I live now. And a lot of them are very conscientious, and they're very aware of what's, you know, what's the best way, the healthy way. And some of them are totally caught up in just raising them, selling them, raising them, selling them, you know, keeping the bugs off them, keeping them well. So they're vaccinating them, they're putting all kinds of stuff in them. They're buying medicated foods and that kind of stuff from the get-go. And then they sell this livestock on the market for people to eat. And my heart breaks every time I see an 18-wheeler go down the road loaded up with chickens. I mean loaded. There's feathers everywhere. And all those chickens are going to be killed so people can eat them. And I know that they've been raised in a little 2x2 box, and they've just been injected and forced to produce, and it makes me sad. I know, you know, I can't really think about that, but I could never eat my chickens. I mean, I'm just telling you, I'll eat grass before I would eat my chickens. I'll eat their eggs because I know their eggs are clean, and I know what they've been eating because I feed them. But I guess that's my point. It's good for you to have some options. It's good for you to know about things that are growing around you that can provide you with probably more nutrition than you're getting from your store-bought food right now. And I'm hoping that it won't be like this forever, that this too will pass. But for the unforeseeable future, our food sources are very contaminated, and they're not the best thing. And if our food was clean, and if we were eating correctly, and if we weren't living on fast food and blah, 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 you know, then you wouldn't even need me. You know, you would be healthy. There wouldn't be obesity and diabetes and inflammatory diseases and, you know, all the things that we're dealing with right now. Do you think this just happened? No. It's been a lifetime. It's been coming for a lifetime. We've willingly stuck our arms out and our kids' arms out and had them vaccinated with who knows what. And we've willingly stuffed food in our faces that we didn't know for sure even how it's made, what it's cooked in, what it's made of. You know, for years and years and years. And then we wonder why we get to a certain age and our body's falling apart. Oh, it's just part of aging. Nope, it's not. And the reason it's not is because you get new cells every 11 months. So if you were doing the right thing by your body, you would actually be improving your health, not getting worse. Which is, you know, it gives you hope if you're willing to do what you need to do to change it. Okay, I always get on a soapbox, sorry. So personally, so if you are a vegetarian and you're not eating fish and you're not eating any other sources, is a good source of omega-3s, which, you know, you get a lot in eggs and you get a lot in other, you know, fish and that kind of stuff. So if you're not eating those types of things, purslane should be something that you consider eating. It has zinc, potassium, manganese. I told you about all of those. It's very, very low in calories. It's one of the lowest caloric vegetables that you can eat. It's very low, and it's high fiber. So it's a good way for you to adjust your weight if you are looking to do that. Like I said, the best thing about it is it's really easy to grow. You could have pretty little planters full of purslane, and it grows fast. It's pretty prolific, and you know, you would have a good food source right on your porch or wherever it was that you were growing. Okay, let's see. It protects against it will protect your cardiovascular system, and a lot of the way it can help prevent a heart attack is it has a good content, a high level of potassium, and it helps to regulate your blood pressure and keep your blood vessels healthy and take the tension off your heart. It has iron and copper, which aid in a production of red blood cells. Both of these minerals are needed to accelerate circulation and give you more oxygen so that your body will have a faster healing rate. It'll produce more cells and heal. And it also strengthens your organs. And also, iron and copper help grow hair. So that's another nice thing to know. It does help in the treatment of some digestive diseases, like, you know, the usual IBS type things. It's especially recommended for people with stomach upset because it's very good for ulcers. So it kind of makes me wonder if it doesn't have some of the same qualities as aloe vera. I bet you if we put their lists of ingredients and constituents side by side, we would see that they're very similar. It's just prettier, and it's easier to eat. It has a little different taste. Aloe vera is slimy. Purslane's not slimy. It's also useful against hemorrhoids, anti-inflammatory. Vitamin A helps protect healthy mucous membranes. It's especially used to treat intestinal problems. So if you've got some intestinal issues, eat some purslane. And it's such a good snack. Put some in a Ziploc bag and take it in the car with you. And when you're driving around, or when you're, you know, running errands or doing whatever, get your kids eating it at a young age. You know, I used to tell my daughter about that with her daughter, and she did that, and not purslane, but broccoli and that kind of stuff. And you know, that child, I haven't seen her for a long time, but last time I saw her, she still was loved vegetables. So she was. It's a good time to start them when they're, you know, they're just eating finger foods and stuff, and give them the good things to eat instead of whatever it is that they sell under the baby wrappers, which is scary to me. I don't even know if it's real. It has high amounts of vitamin A and C, and that makes it what? Very antioxidant, and that helps prevent lung cancer. It helps prevent oral cancer in particular. Vitamin A and vitamin C are, I mean, you're talking eyes, you're talking immune system. Those are all good things. Antiviral. In addition, it's very high in free radicals. So it's like anti-mutagenic. In other words, it stops the oxidation process. When we talked about that a little bit last week with some of the other things we talked about. So again, you've got something that helps prevent cancer cells from growing in any kind of bad cells. And it accelerates your blood circulation. It helps you lose weight. It supports child development. Why does it do that? Because it's very, it's high in the omega-3 fatty acids, And those acids are very instrumental in lessening developmental, developmental disorders, I guess is a good word for it, like autism, ADD, and that kind of stuff, ADHD. They're finding more and more that fatty acids, the omega-3s especially, are connected to that. Protects eye health, like I said, particularly macular degeneration and cataract formation, because it, again, eliminates free radicals, attack your eye cells, and they're contributors to the age-related degenerative diseases that a lot of older people get. If you want to prevent bone loss, this is a good one because it's a natural source of calcium and magnesium and iron and manganese. All of these minerals are needed to improve your bone tissue and speed up your healing process. So it's good for osteoporosis, any of those things. And like I said, it helps you with weight loss because it, when did I read this? I can't remember what I read. Oh, I was reading about it being blended in with yogurt. And, because yogurt's kind of tangy too. And so you put the purslane in there and it doesn't, you hardly even notice that it's in there because it's already got the tanginess from the yogurt. But it's very high in fiber. And it helps balance your blood sugar because fiber is a key player with blood sugar. I don't know if you know that or not, but it is. It's good for fatigue and sluggishness because of all those good vitamins that are in it. It strengthens your immune system. You can apply it externally, like a poultice or whatever. It reduces infection bee stings, toxic bites, that kind of stuff, snake bites. It's good for burns and abscesses. So it sounds a lot like aloe vera, doesn't it? It will actually get rid of intestinal worms. You mix it with boiling water and beat it, like whisk it and whip it, and then pour it, how's the best way to do it? Well, if it was me, I'd just drink it. Or if it's, an animal, then you'd whip it, and then put it on their food. Or have them eat it. They might just eat it. Because my dog loves, like my one dog, she really loves when I sprout sunflower seeds. She loves sunflower sprouts. That's one of her favorite snacks. Loves them. Put them on her food and she'll eat them happily. I don't even have to disguise them. It's good for your skin. It reduces wrinkles, removes scars. It's good for eczema. Sound familiar? It's a good diuretic. So if you're puffy, it's also very good for anemia because it has a good amount of iron in it. Let's see if there's anything else you could make a soup with it. Put some lentils, an onion, and a couple tomatoes and some garlic and pepper, some olive oil, maybe a little butter, and purslane. Make a nice soup. Try that in the fall. Try it now, for that matter. Okay. So, purslane is an all-around good-for-you food. I can't imagine, there's really no downside to it. And it's very easy to grow. I recommend that you try to get your hands on some. You can grow it from seed. Like I said, if you can even just find a little bit of it growing somewhere and bring it, pull it up or cut some off and bring it home and lay it on some dirt, keep it wet for a while. it'll grow its own roots and it'll start. So it's very easy to grow. But like I said, I had some outside I was going to bring in, and I went out to get it, and it was like, oh, there's nothing but stems here. Some critter has enjoyed all the leaves. So I'll have to wait till it comes back before I can show you it. But it's just, you know, get on the internet, get some pictures of purslane, and get yourself some going if you don't already have it growing around, and you might. If you live down in the Hot Springs area or the Ouachitas, you've got purslane growing down there. So just look around, especially if you've got water around you anywhere. Take a look. Okay, the next one that I want to talk to you about is one that actually somebody asked me about this the other day, and I thought, oh, you know, this might be a good thing to talk about on Thursdays, because people get confused about the difference between, it's kind of like the difference between pokeberries and, what were those other ones called that I used to have at my ranch? Hang on, let me look and see if I have it. They're also this really pretty plant, grows nice and big, and gets berries on it. Let's see, but they're a purpley color. Oh, American Beautyberry. That's what it is. And that stuff grows everywhere down there. And it has a really nice bright purple berries on it. And a lot of times people would confuse them between the pokeberries, which they say, oh, no, you can't eat those. Or elderberry, which is not that either. But American Beautyberry is edible and absolutely delicious, and makes a great jelly or a jam. I just like eating them. They've been used a lot, like the berry I'm going to talk about next, or poke, berries, to make natural dyes and that kind of stuff, because they're such a vibrant purple. But very edible, very good, and the deer love them, so you have to get them before they do, if you have them out on your property. I used to have to go out and I'd sacrifice a few of them for the deer, and then I'd harvest the rest of them when they weren't looking. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about today, though, is choke berries. Okay, choke berries, not choke cherries. All right, they're different. Choke cherries are not choke berries, and there are differences. The health benefits with choke berries are pretty impressive as well. They include the ability to improve your digestion, protect your body against free radicals, also helping in weight loss, reducing inflammation, protecting the immune system, preventing from diabetes, improving eye health, showing the effects of aging, lowering your blood pressure, and stimulating your body to repair itself. Sounds like a wonderberry, doesn't it? It also sounds a lot like the one we just talked about, like purslane. It's native to North America. It's one of the most potent groups in terms of antioxidant content that you can find anywhere. Culinary places are always looking for chokeberries because they do have a very unique flavor. Let's see. They are in the Aronia, A-R-O-N-I-A genus, and there's about a half a dozen different species, usually in different colors, but the most common is the chokeberry, which is a purpley color. It comes from the berry's tart quality and the fact that it often makes your mouth pucker when you eat it, kind of like American Beautyberries do too. But if you'll notice, the things that have the puckery tart effect, like purslane and chokeberries and whatnot, and like what's that clover that you get in the woods? My mind is not thinking very well tonight. It looks like clover, but it's not. It's something else, and it's real tart. It's really good, and you get it in the springtime. I'll think of it. Hang on. Back to chokeberries. Okay. Let's see what else. So it's tart. You can sweeten it, and I have a hair in my eye. Got it. Or, you know, make a syrup or anything like that with it that you want to do. Or just slightly sweeten them with honey and eat them on tops of things if you wanted to do that. But it is easy to confuse the chokeberries with some of the other berries out there. And that's why I wanted to talk about it tonight. The best way to differentiate between chokeberries and chokecherries is that chokeberries, let me get this right, I want to make sure I tell you correctly. I believe they're the ones that have seeds. I mean, they grow differently, they grow slightly different. Chokeberries are not in bunches like chokecherries. Hang on. I'll just get to it. I'll get to it in a minute. But anyway, there is a way to tell. It's easy. Just cut it open. And if it has one seed, it's one thing. If it has more than one seed, it's the other. So we'll get to the bottom of that in just a second. Okay. They're super high in nutrients. Rich in anthocyanins, carotenes, flavonoids, organic antioxidants, vitamins, minerals. They're super berries, okay? And I think they would be really good, like dried or freeze-dried, if you have a freeze dryer. They're used in candies, desserts, cakes, beverage flavoring, yogurt, juice. They've even made beer with it. Ice cream, wine, syrup, even brewed as a tea, which I think would be good. Weight loss. Right off the bat, chokeberries are low in calories and fat, yet contain dietary fiber and a wealth of nutrients. So they help you stay full because that's what fiber does. And healthy because of all the extra nutrients in there. So you don't have to worry so much about, you know, reducing your food intake. If you're eating highly nutritious food, you don't have to eat as much. So the key is, I'm a snacker, so I like to have something I can eat that's not going to blow my calorie limit out the door, right? So these kinds of things, purslane and chokeberries and these kinds of things are great little snacks, high in fiber, so it doesn't take a lot of them to make you feel full, but you still get to chew on something, you know? Get to snack, like a grazing goat. All right. Aids in digestion, because they, again, are high in dietary fiber. They create a smoother digestive process, moving food through your gut and, you know, more efficiently. Your stools are the right texture, so you don't have the diarrhea and you don't have the constipation, you don't have the cramping, you don't have the bloating, okay? You just work normally, which is nice. And it also will protect your gut from bacteria because it has a natural immune boosting antioxidant combo. So you've got a bacteria fighting thing, but you're also, so, you know, it just promotes good gut health. Okay? And it's a simple thing. It's not like you have to go take 12 bottles of probiotics and this and that and the other. Okay? Okay, antioxidants. There are dozens of them crammed into these little berries. Quercetin, epicatechin, caffeic acid, malvidin, lutein, zeaxanthin, carotene. Tons of stuff in here. And they provide a huge amount of antioxidant protection. A huge amount. So, what is that going to do? That eliminates the free radicals in your bloodstream. And your skin, your eyes, your organs, your tissues. That, you know, the free radicals are what are taking you out. So you don't want them. You want the antioxidants that take care of the free radicals. And they also keep the bad cells from mutating. Anthocyanin and flavonoid activity is one of the most impressive and unique capacities of this tart fruit. So it just tells you right there, the tart fruits are the ones that are going to pack more punch than the super sweet ones. And that's why, you know, we're told to eat like Granny Smith apples over Honeycrisp, which are yummy. But the Granny Smith is tartar and it has more of what you need. So maybe mix it up. Make an apple salad with both of them. It'll boost your immunity, obviously, because it has a significant amount of vitamin C in it, and that stimulates your white blood cell count and produces collagen, which is integral to growth and repair of new tissues, in your organs, your blood vessels, all of that. It all is all necessary. So purslane and chokeberries are both really good for this. It'll also improve your vision. It will prevent the onset of macular degeneration, cataracts. Carotenes are some of the most powerful antioxidants and are found in significant levels in chokeberries. Okay, skin. It's also good for your skin because, again, it's removing the oxidative stress with, which is caused by free radicals. So when you get the antioxidants going, your skin's going to get healthier, your hair's going to get healthier, your nails are going to get healthier, all that stuff. It'll help with age spots and wrinkles, and it's got an astringent property. That's why it's tart. So it'll actually tighten your skin, give you a little facelift. They are purple, so you might want to play around with that before you go putting it on your skin. Just saying. But eat them, eat them. Antibacterial. They have a direct impact on the common flu and bacterial infections in your gut, your respiratory tract. So it's a good way to fight off those things during flu season and, the like. And, of course, the latest is, we're going to get hit with monkeypox and all these new viral things. And of course they're going to try that again. It's months away from what? So they're going to try to lock everybody down so you can do mail-in ballots and they can rig. I mean, you know what? Okay, what does Einstein say? The definition of stupidity, ignorance, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. We are wiser and smarter this time around. We will not play that game. So we know how to take care of ourselves. We know what our bodies need, and it's, just take care of it now. Just say no. It's a fear tactic. And turn off your television because mainstream media lies. Okay? Just gonna tell you. But anyway, so anytime you can get something that is, antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, those are all things you want around you and at your disposal. Okay, we're not through this yet. We're getting there, but we're not through all of it yet. They're gonna try another round, see what they can do, but good luck with that. And don't ask me to put a mask on. Okay. Dietary fiber in chokeberries has been linked to the increased insulin regulation, which helps keep your blood sugar levels normal and prevents the spikes and drops that can also be dangerous to those suffering with diabetes. There's some journals that have posted some good research on that if you're interested in knowing more about that. They're not commonly known as an allergenic food, but you know, you always want to start small if you are prone to allergies. You know, just use them sparingly until you know for sure your body's good with it, and then go for it. So chokeberries. Okay, now, okay, so you have choke cherries and you have chokeberries. And although they sound a lot alike, their fruits actually at a glance look very similar. If you Google 2 pictures of them, you'll see what I mean. But they're not the same fruit, okay? Chokeberries are earthy and they have a little sweetness. Choke cherries are tart and slightly sour. Chokeberries are not toxic at all. Choke cherries, the bark, the seeds, and the leaves are toxic. Okay? They're from 2 different genuses. Chokeberries are from the Aronia, and choke cherries are from the Prunus genus. Chokeberries are more bushy. Their bushes can maybe get up to be about 10 feet tall, but they're more of a bushy looking plant. Choke cherries can grow 20 feet tall. Okay. Okay, here's the one. Choke berries have multiple seeds. Choke cherries have 1. So you think about a seed. A cherry has a pit, right? And the choke berries have multiple seeds. And that's how you can tell if you just are totally confused and you don't know for sure. Cut it open. If it's got more than 1 seed, it's a chokeberry. Okay? The chokeberries grow in a cluster at the tips of branches, almost like kind of grapey looking, okay? And the choke cherries grow in a cluster along the length of the branch, okay? So the chokeberries are going to be at the ends of the branch, like this. Choke cherries are going to be in groups along the length of the branch. All right. The fruiting period is fall to winter, and choke cherries are strictly in the fall. Okay. Choke berries you'll find in the winter as well. So let me know if you find choke berries around where you live, and what you decide if you like them or not. But I would recommend that you get some, and if you've got them around, and eat them, because they're very, very good for you. Okay, let's see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you about. Yeah, choke berries grow on bushes like blueberries, okay? Choke cherries are taller. Way taller, okay? They're more like a tree. So you got cherry trees and berry bushes. Okay, that's another way you can tell. Let's see. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, which I felt like was really good to know too. And it's also a plant. I just went out the other day and mine is, you know, it was doing really well and flowering and everything. And I thought, oh, this is nice. And like I said, it's kind of early. And then we had a bunch of rain and the temperatures got cooler. And things started looking like they were going to move into fall, right? And now it's hot again for a couple of days. It's, you know, it was like 90 today here. So my plants are a little bit mixed up, but this next one I want to talk to you about is evening primrose. Now, evening primrose is, again, another plant that's really easy to grow, and it reseeds itself. So you'll find it, you know, if you've got wind at all, it'll probably, next year, you'll find some somewhere else growing in your yard or wherever. That's kind of what happened to me. I just had it coming up. It won't come back in the same place it started. It'll reseed and you'll find it somewhere else. If you purposely take some of the seeds and put them in a specific thing, then you know you'll get some for sure there. I kind of like the Easter egg hunt idea where I go find what's growing because it's kind of fun. But I do make a purposeful effort to have some evening primrose at all times somewhere that I know where it is. It is very anti-inflammatory. It'll strengthen your bones, good skin health, balance your hormones, lower your cholesterol, optimize your digestion, regulate your blood sugar levels, prevent hair loss, ease pain, and aid in weight loss. Are you hearing a trend with these three? And you know what's cool about this is that I didn't plan it this way. I get quiet and I ask for direction, and I feel like I get my answers, and it's like, okay, I'll go with this one and this one. And then when I start putting it all together, I realize how much of a thread there is, and how much of these three plants have very similar qualities, very similar benefits. I just think it's cool. Evening primrose. The only thing that I have to caution about with evening primrose is it will lower your blood pressure. And you know how I am about that. Sometimes I have to be careful with that because my blood pressure is normally low. And so if I eat too much garlic or if I take too much, have too much evening primrose in my system, a lot of times my blood pressure will drop, and then I'm not comfortable with that low blood pressure. But for those of you that have normal to high blood pressure, you won't notice that as much. Okay, let's talk about it. Break it down. Evening primrose oil is probably what you think of when you think of evening primrose, because a lot of we've seen evening primrose oil around, and we've used it in skincare and that kind of stuff. But it is a native plant, native to North America, and it is jam-packed with unsaturated fatty acids. It has gamma-linoleic acid, which is the GLA, and it has linoleic acid and other omega-6 fatty acids. So if you put evening primrose in with your purslane, which is chocked with omega-3s, you got all your acids in there. You got a good amount. These are the main drivers behind the health benefits of the oil. The oil's been used for centuries. I use it in my skincare products a lot. It's also a very nice tea. Okay, if you have poor hair health, if you have inflammatory conditions, if you have osteoporosis, if you have indigestion, if you have diabetes, chronic pain, obesity, acne, hormonal disorders, this is an herb for you. All right? It helps prevent acne because it reduces the inflammation in your body and increases your healing power and the regeneration of cells, a lot like comfrey does. So your cells are regenerating at a faster rate. And so if you've got scars from acne, or if you've got things that you want to get rid of, the evening primrose along with aloe vera will help make those go away. And comfrey. All right, comfrey is also a cell proliferant. So very good for skincare. It also will protect your wounds from infection if you've got wounds. It's good for age spots. It's good for psoriasis and eczema. I put it in my Soother, and I put it in my 7 Years Young. And what else did I put in evening primrose? What to think about that. But studies have linked evening primrose oil to lower blood sugar levels, and the GLA acid that's found in it protects you against neuropathy. So, you know, if you've got the diabetic neuropathy, the primrose oil really helps with that and protecting you from that. That's a very common secondary condition with diabetes patients. Nerve damage can be mitigated and even reversed with evening primrose oil. There's been some good studies on it. Look into it. Weight loss, along the same lines, it'll help you shed pounds because it balances your hormones and helps boost your metabolism, for starters. And it helps lower your cholesterol levels, which is another good thing. It will help improve fertility, if that's something you want. Me? No, thank you. It'll even reduce the plaque in your blood vessels, which, you know, increases your blood flow and gives your heart more protection. Okay. Let's see. Hormone effects of this oil range from improving conditions like acne to reducing hair loss in men, women, as well as minimizing the symptoms of menopause and menstruation. Preventative, okay, because it has an effect on the let's see if I can say this word, prostaglandins, okay, which is a fancy word for your hormones, okay. This is particularly good for eliminating menstrual cramps and preventing menstrual hot flashes. So along with making your skin prettier and your hair nice, it can take care of some of the other issues of menopausal wonderfulness. It relieves pain because it's anti-inflammatory and it's analgesic. All right. It's good for rheumatoid arthritis. I put it in my, oh yeah, that's better, roll-on. And I put it in my arthritis blend that I make. Okay. Hair care. We talked about that. Hormone balance that evening primrose oil gives the body can counter the effects of DHT, which is a big long word. Dihydrotestosterone, which has recently been linked to male pattern baldness. Consuming this oil, applying it topically to the scalp, you can significantly prolong the life of your luscious locks. Okay, boost heart health, which is a given because it clears plaque, so it's going to lower your risk of arteriosclerosis. It prevents osteoporosis because you know, those that have bone density issues, there's been numerous studies that have linked it, the regular use of it, to less bone loss as we age. Okay? Blood pressure, diabetes, allergic reactions. There's not really a whole lot to say about allergic reactions, unless, of course, you were going to get out the gallon jug and consume a gallon of it. You know, don't do that. Just use an appropriate amount. And oh, I thought it sounded like it was raining, but it's not. Bleeding issues. It's been associated with lower blood clotting, making the potential dangerous for people with bleeding disorders. So that's something to be aware of. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to say you should look into adding primrose to your regimen with your purslane and your purslane and what was the other? Oh, chokeberries and evening primrose. All of those are easy. Well, the chokeberries, like I said, you might have to hunt for those unless you just happen to know where they're growing. But, you know, you could always order some plants and plant them in your yard. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll have them. I have everything else. I've got wild blackberries and raspberries. I've got blueberries. So I'm going to get me some chokeberries and have some. Okay, how am I doing on time? Ooh, I'm almost out of time. All right, quickly, I just wanted to run down a list of some of the best mushrooms for you to get familiar with. Okay, you ready? This is going to go fast because I'm out of time already. Hi, Tina. Okay, most of you have heard about lion's mane. Lion's mane is a mushroom that grows pretty big, and then it gets like this shaggy covering on it, which is where it gets its lion's mane name. Helps increase nerve growth, your NGF, nerve growth factor levels, which protects against degenerative brain disease that contributes to memory loss. So lion's mane. And most of these, if you have access to a decent health food store, you can get them in some kind of a form that's relatively trustworthy. You know, you're not going to be able to go out and hunt all these down in the woods, but I'm just telling you about them so that if this is a route you want to go, if you want to target some of the things I'm listing, this is a good addition. Protects against degenerative brain disease. Studies show it can reduce irritability and anxiety. Several studies have also indicated that lion's mane has immune boosting benefits. Harmful pathogens enter the body through the mouth or nose as we breathe. Lion's mane can bolster our defenses by helping to stimulate gut bacteria to trigger the immune system. So again, are you seeing how things are related? If you've got a healthy gut and it's producing the right kind of bacteria, you can combat a lot of things. This is how we are wired. This is how God created us. All right? So, another one is chaga or shaga. This one is actually, I have this in a tea form, and it's pretty good. You know, it's probably as close to any kind of coffee tasting thing that I want to drink, but it's a very good hot beverage. I like it. It's been used for centuries throughout the world to boost immunity. White blood cells are the immune system's first line of defense. Studies have shown that chaga mushrooms regulate a protein known as cytokines, which stimulates white blood cell production. Has antioxidant-rich, it's an antioxidant-rich mushroom which contains high amounts of zinc. Okay, so remember what we know about zinc, okay? Which help the immune system combat bacteria and viruses, okay? Maitake. I talked to you about maitake last week, I think. Didn't I? This was a Japanese mushroom. Remember, it was the dancing mushroom because they were always dancing when they found it. They thought they were so excited. Okay, it's an adaptogenic. Helps your body achieve optimal balance by suppressing physical and mental stress, which we all experience, okay? Recent studies have shown that maitake can help activate cells that stimulate the immune system's natural killer cells and T cells, okay? Reishi. I talked to you about reishi first, and this one helps support, it's also adaptogenic, a state of calmness, reduces stress, improves sleep, gives you good mental focus. It also enhances your immune system. It increases your white blood cell count and those killer cells that you want. Shiitake is another. So maitake, reishi, and shiitake are all three mushrooms that I put in one of my formulas that I make. I also put it in my it's in my Vital Lift, and it's also in my Energize Me, I think. It's a great source of B vitamins. It's got antibacterial properties. If you put on a few extra pounds, You might be pleased to hear that a study published in the Journal of, what is its journal? Obesity concluded that shiitake should help reduce and prevent body weight gain and the buildup of fat. Nice. Helps boost immune function, improve cell function, gut immunity, and reduce inflammation. All good stuff. It's also a Japanese mushroom. B vitamins are its claim to fame, and its antibacterial properties. So it's a quick list. I'm sorry I couldn't spend more time with that, but I did want to blast those out there. You can always go back and rewatch this, take some notes if you want to get those specifics. I would recommend doing that and getting some good supplies on hand, because I think we're in for an interesting ride in the next few months. I'm kind of smelling it. Like, I'm seeing signs of another round of whatever silliness. I'm just going to encourage you to stick close, stay strong, know what you know, take care of your body, do as much for yourself as you can, stay away from processed food, stay away from fast food, anything that you don't know for sure where it's been, okay? And we will ride this one out again. Alrighty? Fear not, because that's what they want us to do, is be afraid, be very afraid. We're not going to be afraid. Yes, Lorraine says, so interesting. So many people have these conditions and could benefit from these things. Thank you. You are very welcome. And we need to find chokeberries. So, like I said, if you don't have them, choke cherries. I remember my mom used to talk about choke cherries. I think probably in Idaho is where they were. But they used to make like syrup and jam with those. But you have to be careful with those because all the rest of that plant is toxic. So, but the choke berries have all those benefits and they're not toxic at all. So if you can't find any growing, then like I said, let's see if we can get online and order some, or get a hold, if you're down in the Hot Springs area or wherever, get a hold of Debbie Tripp and see if maybe she can do some legwork and see if she can hunt us down a batch of choke cherry, even if choke berry, even if we just have to start with seeds. But we might be able to get some plants and get ourselves some power berries going. Pretty excited about that. All right, guys, I'm a little bit after. I'm sorry, but it's been fun, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a wonderful weekend, and don't hesitate to get a hold of me if you need me. I will be here. All right, Wendy at crookedhouseherbals.com. You can message me on Facebook, Crooked House Herbals, or you can always do Wendy Wonder. That's my personal Facebook page, and you can call me if you have my number, or text me. All right, it's been fun. God bless you guys. Love ya. Stay well, and remember, nature heals you best.